Damn.
What y'all thought y'all wasn't gonna see me?
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Two Dudes and a Mexican. We are back with 2020, back at
2020,
Bogus.
everybody. Happy 2020.
I'm your host, Peter Soprano. To my left is the dude, D-Money, Drizzy Dre.
What's going on, people? Happy New Year's.
And to my right is the main man, the resident Mexican, David
Hola, mi
Quinones.
gente.
And like we said, we are back, 2020, the first show of 2020. We are happy to be here from Bogies in Clifton. Come down here and get some good food, good drinks.
They're putting up a
They put up an 85-inch TV.
100-inch, TV.
Yeah, so come
Have your parties up here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
We're definitely gonna have a couple parties up here. We can't wait to do that. So
It's gonna be awesome.
without a doubt.
And what a way to kick off the new year. We got to talk about what happened last week. A lot of stuff happened, but let's start off with the NFL. I'm not even gonna get to I ain't gonna get to what Hob wants to talk about yet.
Oh no,
Let's talk about
about the coaches.
sensitive
I want
subject.
to talk. No, we won't talk.
Producers.
No, we won't talk about the coaches yet. But I want to talk because I want to get on the New Orleans Saints. The
Oh,
New Orleans
man.
Saints
Wow.
found a way to choke again. I said they were gonna choke, and they found a way to choke
Who that?
again.
Who that? Who that?
Yeah, that's what everybody said.
Who that? Who that?
Right now.
I'm sorry. No,
No, I don't apologize. They deserve it. The Saints are a team that have been scoring points all year. People said, all right, this is a team that's going to go to the Super Bowl finally. They're the best team in the NFC. And they choked again. You know what? I'm starting to think
They choked.
No, I think they're starting to like choking so they can whine. That's why.
because they don't
That's
like
what it
giving
is.
they don't like Kamara, right? They don't like giving him the ball.
They don't give Kamara the ball, and they're going to complain again about the Rudolph pass interference that shouldn't have been called anyway.
And they like bringing in that guy. What's his name? Your favorite player on
God,
that team.
Taysom Hill. Oh my God! And now because he had a good game, now
He did have he had a good game and they lost.
he had a good see because they
That was the problem.
They should have had him out.
Had he had a bad game, they probably would have won. So
Listen, so you didn't run Kamara after he scored the touchdown opening drive. You didn't run Kamara. You ran Taysom Hill all around the field like it was a college football game, and he didn't do anything. Who knows? Maybe yanking Drew Brees in and out of the game messed up his accuracy because he couldn't throw right.
Messed up the whole rhythm.
Everything was screwed up, and the Saints found a way to lose the game again
Unbelievable.
when they're the favorite.
Year after year after year
Listen, Dre,
in Nola,
What can
Nola.
you say about this? At home, this year,
Man.
Jets get the Super Bowl and they lose again. What?
Look, I don't want to hear people talking about that potential OPI. Listen,
No, that was garbage.
No, I wouldn't call it either.
Who's gonna call? Nobody's
Listen,
gonna
I don't want to talk about that. I know the fans are going to find excuses and all
They're
that.
whiners. That's
But
why.
you guys
That was
had,
bold. That was
but
bold.
look, but look, you guys had opportunities after
Too many.
opportunities. You know what? Look, number one question: why not call a timeout?
Sean Payne's an idiot.
Why not call timeout?
You have 21 seconds if you call timeout, but no.
So,
Come on, let the 10
so
seconds
if you
run
call a
off.
timeout,
flag, Hop,
so if
flag,
you
man.
call a
No,
timeout,
no, we're right.
Flag throw.
No, he's throwing it. He's throwing it on Sean Payton.
So by
He
calling
throws it to New
timeout,
Orleans because he's at home.
by calling timeout, you're giving your team an opportunity to win the
From
game.
the 20.
To win the game.
You tell me Drew Brees can't throw a 20-yard
To win
touchdown,
the
3
game.
chances?
Instead, they let the clock run down, which tells me
Let 'em throw
that
it
they
on the
weren't
ground.
playing to win the game. They were playing to play overtime.
It was stupid.
Guys, that's inexcusable. Like I said, stuff like that you deserve to lose, in
Yes.
my opinion.
Yes,
Why
completely.
and what
Damn
happens?
right.
They went to overtime. Minnesota got the ball,
And
and
they
that's
never
it.
touched it.
Drew Brees never got back on the field.
And I don't want to hear that shit about, sorry, we got kids in the crowd. But I don't want to hear that crap about, listen.
Okay, I put the.
I put the beep.
Well, listen, I don't want to hear all that about, that now the overtime rules should change because they can get the ball. They let them go right down the field. Like, if you get a touchdown, let them go 75 yards down the field. You don't deserve to win.
Yep, that's your
my
fault.
opinion. So, what do you think about this game? Dave?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it almost felt like, Kamara, scored that touchdown in the opening drive, but it almost felt like New Orleans couldn't get their offense going in this game.
Yeah.
It almost seemed like they tried to be something they're not. And like you said, it's crazy that Hill had a good game and they lost.
Coming in and out of the game too
so,
much.
who knows? If he has a bad game, they probably win. So, listen,
Much should have just kept them in the game.
much credit to Minnesota for coming in. Listen, like you said, you have been really critical of Kirk Cousins. You know, obviously
Yeah.
from this game, he made that big throw.
Yeah.
You know, that was caught by what's his face?
Thielen.
Thielen.
What was it? Hold
Big
on.
catch.
And what
Big
was it,
time
what was
throw.
The deal with that?
Big time
wasn't
catch.
It like third and long or third and 10?
It was-
Well, the biggest problem with that is that Lattimore got hurt at the end of the game, so he's the one who was supposed to be guarding Thielen, and they let him get over the top.
Thielen got behind
Yeah,
the
he
corner.
got over the top.
He got over.
He
He
was
got
supposed
on
to
the
guard
corner.
by Lattimore. Lattimore's one of the best corners in the league.
And that was a big catch.
And that's another thing.
So-
They just need a one stop and then drop the ball down the field, get a field goal, and you win.
Game
They
over.
still couldn't do that.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah, but listen, Minnesota played the right game though. They had the right game plan. Listen, Jordan Cameron didn't do much in this game. You didn't hear his name a lot, so they were able to equalize him. They obviously they rode
He tucks a lot.
It's a bozo.
He tucks a lot.
they rode their horse. They're good running back. Which had a good game. And they were able to pull it off in overtime. So hey, a lot of
y'all
credit to
wasted
Vikings.
Kamara. Y'all wasted Drew Brees' year. Y'all wasted the time of the fans. Like that's what
Michael
y'all
Thomas.
did.
Michael
Yeah,
Thomas.
Michael Thomas had a record-breaking season, and y'all wasted that. Like I don't want to hear anything from the Saints anymore. Drew Brees might as well retire because he's not gonna win with Sean Payton. So just get out of here and be done with it.
That's
And then because Hill had a good game, like during the game, they put out, oh, that's our backup quarterback. Like Teddy Bridgewater should leave it to for saying that. Like I don't want to hear it either. So
I'll take
so,
give Bridgewater all day.
Let's go right to the other game on Sunday. Seattle Seahawks advance.
Wow.
Like that to me was just surprising, just because I mean I was one of the few people that actually picked the Eagles to win the game. But I mean, who knows if once they get hurt in the fourth quarter, maybe it
Here we
because
go
it was a
with
one-score game. The whole
excuses.
Not F1s. That's
Here
another
Here we
one.
go with the excuses.
Oh, there goes the flag. There goes the
Listen,
first
it
flag.
was a one-score game the whole game, and you're trying to tell me that Drew. I'm still thinking about Drew Brees. Fuck Drew Brees. You're trying to tell me that Carson Wentz going to lead him down for one touchdown. Like,
Listen,
that's it. That's
listen,
what he needed.
for this game, I'm gonna say 3 words, guys. 3 words. DJ what? Metcalf. Listen, come on, man. Listen, the guy had a monster game. I mean, did you see some of those catches?
Yeah, no,
Did you see that last? Did you see that touchdown,
He had
man?
4 catches of over 20 yards.
And did you see that touchdown, though? That touchdown was pure athleticism, pure beast mode. I mean, you still had beast mode, who ran it in, the end zone for Seattle.
Yeah.
Listen, Russell Wilson, 2-4. I know a lot of people doubted him because he's 2-4 on the road in the playoffs. I knew this was going to be a tight game. Obviously, Carson Wentz going out and then relying on your backup. I mean, you knew it was going to be really, really tough for them to win this game. So they couldn't. Obviously, they couldn't pull it off. I'm not surprised, because I thought Seattle had a good chance to win it. They have a good defense. I think it's underrated. They got beast mode back, like I said. Russell Wilson just is able to pull these games off. He's done it in the past. He's won a championship. I think the Eagles, listen, credit to the Eagles, credit to Peterson what he's done this year, with backups.
No
to get,
Alshon,
I mean, he had
no-
there was so injury ravaged that he was able to pull it off and
Lost
get them to the
everybody.
playoffs. So I mean, listen, hats off.
I mean, it was helped that they were in a
That's the
horrible
Eagles.
division. But
Move on.
Dre, what's your comment on this game?
Listen, like I said, and like I said on Pete's Corner, this was a game where Seattle had absolutely no business being in a close game.
They should have blew them out.
Wow, so you're
Against McCown.
with the Eagles, yeah, and again, I praised Philly, for even sticking in. They had a lot of time. They had a lot of
They
opportunities.
did.
Still against Josh
Yeah,
McCown.
they had exactly. They had a lot of opportunities in the end zone. I
Josh
remember.
McCown took 8 sacks.
Look, I agree with the decision of going forward at the end zone because
Yeah.
at that point they were
You
already
got it.
struggling to get to
You
the
got
end
it.
zone.
You got it.
You had to, but again, they had plenty of opportunities. It could have been a 19-12 type of game, but instead they decided to go for it, which I
Yeah.
agree with. That's fine.
Yeah.
But again, they had no business being that close. But they found a way to win, so credit to them. I did pick them to win, but again, this was a weird game, like you said. Josh McCown, 1 possession game throughout the whole game. What does that say? I mean, to me, what does that say about Seattle? I don't know. Again, to me, it's a little concerning. And now you got to go on the road to play Green Bay. Again, they had to fly back to Seattle, to fly back to Wisconsin.
crazy.
Listen, even though,
Just fucking went to Wisconsin.
yeah, even though that was a 1-score game, to me that was the worst game of the week. And I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Saturday game, the game that opened up the playoffs, and actually they said it was the highest rated ESPN playoff
crazy.
game.
Wow.
Buffalo Bills and the Houston
Those
Texans.
Mafia, man.
Yeah, they come out strong, and I thought Buffalo should have won the game. I thought
Definitely
they
should've won
they
the
threw
game.
away a couple
The better
chances.
team won.
I don't know about that, but
King of New York?
I,
Yeah, Queen of New York.
I,
Now,
think,
Josh
I
Allen.
thought Buffalo should have won the game. Houston, both coaches were horrible late in the game.
Yeah.
Like between Buffalo not trying to kick a 55-yard field goal to try to tie it up, and then you got Houston going for it at the 50-yard line. Like I'm not screaming either the 50-yard line, like the 35-yard line instead of either kicking a field goal or punting. Both coaches were just stupid in this game. So it was the stupid bowl for coaches. So both coaches were bad. But Dave, what do you think about that game?
Man, it was a tale of two halves. I mean, listen, Buffalo played, so great, up until obviously almost 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Obviously they were up 16-0, and then all of a sudden, man, Deshaun Watson. I mean, listen, he came out.
He was seeing ghosts in the
He
first
just,
half.
I guess he was.
He really was.
And in the second half, I mean, he was just making plays. Obviously, that final play to seal this game up was ridiculous.
Broke 2 tackles.
Probably
for that big play.
one of the best plays in playoffs history. But listen, I had Buffalo advancing also. It was just a little shame because Josh Allen looked so good for those first 3 quarters, and then the fourth you saw he just started playing like a rookie.
Yeah.
Even when he got that first down and he ran for it, and then
That was a horrible call, too.
Did he
How
forget?
was-
Did he forget the score? Did he forget what the situation was? What are you doing trying to lateral the ball? Like,
No, I agree with that.
what who you're not Patty Mahomes.
No, I agree
You
with
know,
that.
you're Josh Allen. Come
but Buffalo also got screwed because when he did run to try to get them in field goal range to win the game, they caught a BS blindside block
that
where
was
he's
BS,
looking
yeah.
at the
That was
guy
BS.
and they caught a blindside block. Put him back 15 yards and forced Buffalo to punt. Houston went down the field and won
Right,
the
it's
game.
unbelievable.
What do you think about that game, Trey?
Yeah, honestly, look, it's just a shame. Buffalo again. They had a good season. The fans were excited, and it was nice seeing them, make that run. But wow, to blow a 16-0 lead,
In the playoffs.
and the playoffs after praising, the Bills' defense all season, which they've been playing really well.
Yeah.
To just give it up like that again, and it's not just the defense, but like you said, also also some of the coaching in that game, which was again questionable. Shout out to Houston again. They found a way to win. Teams like that find a way to win, they're dangerous. And like Dave said earlier, Deshaun Watson making that big play at the end where he missed the 2 tackles, where he should have been sacked, but instead, he extended it, made the play, and put his team in position to win the game. It's sad. The inexperience showed in Josh Allen, and that's fine, because that's what happens.
He's a young kid. He's 24 years old.
He's a young
24,
quarterback.
25.
He's gonna learn.
He's gonna get better.
He's gonna get better. He's gonna learn from these type of
Needs to get
mistakes.
some wide receivers that'll catch a football.
I was about to say.
Jeez.
That's definitely need
yeah.
more weapons.
Dude, number 82, Williams on Buffalo dropped 4 balls, including a touchdown.
Yeah.
How
You're
much
not
harder do you want to make it on your quarterback?
You're not helping your QB exactly by dropping 4 off. 4
Draft T. Martin in the first round.
Who's our running back though?
Singletary.
Singletary. That's a good piece.
He had a real good
That's a
game.
good piece to work around. I mean,
Yeah.
that boy is fast.
He had a
is
real good
athletic,
game.
man. He
So-
is good.
So
He's good.
I would have been sick if I was a Bills fan. That
I'm sure they were. So let's move on to the game that was Saturday night game, the game that was talked about a lot.
Tie it up.
The Tennessee Titans versus the New England Patriots. And yes, the Empire is dead. They've been stomped down on the ground.
Thank you.
And everybody did thank me on Monday.
Thank you for
Tennessee
everybody else.
Titans won 2013. It was 14-13 most of the game, and then Brady threw a pick 6 with 15 seconds to go. Tennessee Titans walk into Foxborough, Henry 204 yards on them, and they walk right out the building with the Empire and with all the Spygate cameras and all that stuff.
The flight gate.
They sliced off the neck of Belichick and made Brady walk off the field early. So, Trey, I'm gonna go to you first. What are some of the takeaways that you have from that game?
Very defensive game, and Derrick freaking Henry. Wow, I mean that guy was a beast.
6'2",
Look,
250 pounds.
I was watching the game with some casual NFL fans. That usually creep out around the summer here.
Yeah.
And these guys were impressed. I was like, yo, who is that guy? I'm like, Derrick Henry, dude, just running the ball, pounding the ball, playing great defense. One of your guys should have had a pick 6 early in the
Logan
game.
Ryan.
I don't know what it was in his hands.
The number 1 ranked cornerback in the league
looked
dropped
like-
a pick 6
and-
against his former team.
And it looked like he did have that ball secured in his hands. I don't know what happened, but again, that should have been a pick 6. They played great. Honestly, look, it didn't surprise me that Tennessee won. Again, a lot of people, including myself, were just going with the you can't count Belichick out, you can't count Brady out. But Tennessee, obviously proved me wrong, proved everybody else wrong that did agree with me, and shout out to them. Like I said, even though the score was 20-13, most of the game was 14-13, a very low-scoring game, and Patriots did have opportunities to win. They were in field goal range and pushed back out of it. And, again, the offense stinks. But, again, I don't want to find excuses, as to why he didn't win the game. If anything, Mike Vrabel, man, this guy's a genius, bro. He was pulling a Bill Belichick on Bill Belichick.
That was the best moment of the
Man,
game.
honestly, that was my favorite moment of the
Mentor
game.
versus teacher,
Best
man.
moment
Oh
of the
my
game.
teacher.
Oh my God.
You decide
You
to have
see
a false
Belichick.
start, a delayed game, and then force the Patriots to try to get a false start.
Belichick.
You milk 2 minutes off the clock, like for no reason.
Belichick was pissed.
Oh, Belichick.
And I loved it. I loved it. I
Probably
loved
this guy
it.
was pulling some tricks of mine.
I know what, but you
And
want,
using them on me.
you want to know
loved it.
you want to know what the funniest thing about that is that Belichick did that to the Jets earlier this year.
Yeah. And he
when-
laughed about it.
And he laughed when they were up 33-0. Like, why would you use that when you're up 33-0? Like, you wasted it. You threw it out your bag of tricks, and you just gave it to your student right there to use it against you.
That's complete karma. And honestly, like that whole at the end, like when they did get the ball back after Brady threw that pick six, that whole lateral move. Honestly, I don't know what that was, to be
It
honest.
was their last gasp effort. So
Yeah, I just think they should have gone for a Hail Mary instead of.
Brady can't throw it that deep anymore.
Yeah, I don't know,
So,
man.
Dave,
but-
what do you think about that game?
Guys, I mean, listen, last year, the title of the Beast was Todd Gurley. All right, Todd Gurley was the Beast. This year, guys, listen, 6 words. Give the ball to the Beast. And this year's Beast is Derrick Henry, man. I mean, he is just a beast. I mean, listen, won the rushing title this year. I mean, that's a guy that you win and die with.
You're not gonna stop.
So, you're not going to stop that guy. He's just way too big.
He had over 1,500 yards this year, won the rushing title on his last rush that he took to the house. And then he had 35 carries for 204 yards this past week.
Listen, a lot of credit to the coaching staff with, developing a good game plan, relying on your defense. Obviously, Titans have, one of the best defenses in the NFL, sticking to the run. Even Tannehill, listen, yeah, he threw one interception, which it looked like he
It was
was
a
trying
bad
to
one.
throw away,
Yeah, it was a
though.
bad
It
one.
was crazy. I mean, I thought it was going out of bounds, and then he got caught. But listen, much credit to him. I mean, he managed the game.
It's not
He
easy
made
to play
the
in
throws.
Foxborough.
Yeah, and he made the throws he needed to make, and he didn't make any stupid mistakes, which, a lot of the times you see the Patriots capitalize on.
Yeah,
So,
that's what they were waiting for.
listen, again, they relied on their beast, their thoroughbred, and listen, they rode it into victory, and credit to them. And it was so fitting that defense gets a pick six to end the game.
By his
Which was
former
fucking
player.
great.
By his former
Which
player.
was awesome. I mean, it was like the
player.
icing on the cake.
It's funny. They could have took the knee down, and that could have
Yeah.
technically solidified the game.
Of course they could have.
And I mean, it's funny because like I was telling the people I was with, I'm like, well, technically speaking, New England still has a chance.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but like you
15
said,
seconds
that was the icing
their
on
own
the
one.
cake.
It was the icing on
Honestly,
the cake.
personally, I love the fact that he didn't take. He just ran it back for the touchdown. That was another favorite moment of mine. Instead of taking the knee down, he just shoved it down their throats and said, "You guys want to win this game? You guys better bring it down the field."
Yeah, shout out to Brett Kern for putting that punt down on the 1 yard line.
That
Like,
too, man. Your punter's good.
That punter made all pro team. That's the best punter in the league.
I
And
mean,
he
those
proved it this
punts
past
were
week.
booming.
Pay that man. 'Cause
He put it
Booming over
He
there.
put it at the 1 yard line. And the most impressive thing before we move on to this week's games is that I thought about that is that Bill Belichick is known for shutting down the top target on the opposing team, and he let Derrick Henry run for 204 yards. That's just amazing.
Well, I have a theory. If anything, in my opinion, I think Belichick allowed that, and if anything, he did take away the play action, which was really big for Tennessee during the regular season when Tannehill came in. I mean, there wasn't really that much play action going on, and I think Belichick expected. I
think he screwed that up by doing that, though.
Well, no.
If he did that.
No.
Because to me, Tennessee Titans had 2 big options. They have AJ Brown,
Right.
and they have Derrick Henry.
Right.
And I'd much rather let A.J. Brown go against my secondary, which has been good all year, rather than let Derrick Henry beat me. And Derrick Henry beat me pretty much
And
by
like
himself.
I said, not to take away from Tennessee's, victory, but letting Derrick Henry run for that many yards and taking the play action away from Tennessee, it worked. It actually really did work because, like I said, New England was in position to win that game or at least take the lead multiple times.
Yes or no? Yes, it could have worked. Technically, it may have worked, but we don't know if Tannehill had let him throw 35 times. Would he have thrown interceptions? Would he have thrown a pick six?
Right.
I mean, he only threw 15 passes and he threw an interception. Who knows if he threw 30? Would he 3 interceptions?
Right.
So we don't know if it completely worked
Yeah.
the way it wanted it to.
Yeah, of course
It kept the
not.
game close. That's what it did.
Absolutely. And like I said, another concern for me was obviously New England's defense. They got no playmakers, no Gronkowski. Edelman was disappointing. Sanu, I don't know why they even picked him up.
Sanu had some pretty good catches though.
Yeah, but again,
he had a decent game.
but he wasn't making the plays that he needed to make.
No, that's why they're dead. All right,
exactly.
that's why they're dead. So we
He
got
got enough.
we got 4 good games coming up this weekend. We got a national championship to talk about. So let's start this week's game. Early Saturday, San Francisco 49ers, Minnesota Vikings.
49ers.
And I guess we got your pick already. Dave, who are you picking in this game?
Yeah, listen, I'm going with the 49ers. Listen, again, I know they had a little bit of slump, getting into the playoffs. I know they slowed down. People are not convinced about that defense, but listen, where's that game?
What people?
Our producer. And listen, where's this game being played? San Francisco.
Yo, he threw it. It wasn't just a regular toss.
Listen, I think kind of much like, what the Tennessee Titans did in terms of, relying on their defense, relying on their running game. I think, San Francisco is going to do that. There's no offense to Tannehill, but obviously Garoppolo is an upgrade from Tannehill. I think, listen, Minnesota's defense is pretty good, but I just think it's going to be too much, against San Francisco. Again, that running game, they have like a 3-headed monster, if anything, if you count all the running backs. Again, with the emergence of Deebo Samuel, listen, that wide receiving core, Kittle's. I mean, you have so many weapons. I think it's San Francisco's game to lose. I hate to put it that way, but I just think they're the much better team. Again, like you said, Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins chokes in this game.
I'm going to go with San Francisco also. Reasons why is because I think their team's starting to get tired at the end of the year.
Definitely.
And I think now with Bosa getting a week off, with D Ford coming back for the first time in 6 weeks, they got their pass rushers
That's
back.
right, I forgot about
So with all that coming together, and I don't think they're going to do it running the ball. I think they're going to do it passing the ball because Minnesota actually has a good run defense. And if they try to run it, I think it'll be closer than they think. But I think San Francisco will pass the ball because they've been having so much success with it lately. And I think they win that game by more than 2 touchdowns.
Another one.
Dre, what do you think about that game?
I'm gonna have to go San Francisco across the board. 2 flags. 2 flags. 2 flags. Yeah. I'm gonna have to agree with you guys. Look, San Francisco regular season, they've showed that not only could they beat the good teams, they could blow them out. They showed nothing but resilience this whole season. We know they got the weapons. Like I said, the defense.
Is that a horse? Is that a horse back there?
The defense. The defense. It is questionable sometimes. And like I said earlier, I told Pete that I have a feeling that one of these teams that have the buys, I'm not sure which one, but one of these teams are bound to come out cold. I don't think.
San Fran.
I don't think it's San Fran. I could be wrong. But you're wrong. But I do think that San Francisco is going to make the bigger plays. I think Jimmy G's going to make the bigger plays, and I think that Kyle Shanahan is going to figure out and he's going to outcoach Minnesota. In my opinion, I do like them to win this game.
All right, so
in advance.
with that said, Miles, keep it with you. The second game that's Saturday night, Tennessee Titans and Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. What do you think's happening in that one?
Listen, guys, this is going to be. Both teams are going to pound that ball. They're going to run it. Like I said, it's an interesting game because, like I told Pete, I personally think that Baltimore possibly could come out cold in this game.
All right, let's go.
Look, I think they could come out cold in this game, and I do think that Tennessee does have, they can't capitalize on it. look, I did pick Baltimore to win. I am gonna go
We're
with them to
sipping
win.
Dre now.
No, but this is a game that, for betting purposes, again, refer back to the Peach Corner. I wouldn't touch this game because this is a game that Baltimore could allow Tennessee to not only go, establish that running game, but start using play action, which Baltimore is vulnerable to. This is a game that, again, it's just hard to not pick Baltimore. This is a New England that doesn't have offensive power. We do know that Baltimore does have the offensive power to put up the points. And, hey, I'm pulling for you guys, man. You guys, you guys.
Ravens like this.
Too much.
Joe Montana left 49.
Whoa.
You gotta put the Jeopardy music on.
Hey, listen, guys. Well,
Yeah, we're swinging the Dave now.
going to Foxborough was amazing, but going to Baltimore, that's another thing.
Glorious.
I'm pulling for Tennessee. I hope they get it done. They'll be doing me a favor, but I'm just gonna have to roll with Baltimore in this one. Unfortunately, P. Sorry.
Dave.
2 flags.
Yeah,
Exactly.
listen, this game definitely I wouldn't touch, for betting purposes. I think that it's definitely going to be a close game. I mean, listen, if you look at both defenses, both defenses to me are top defenses in the NFL. Who's got the better running game? I think definitely Tennessee's got a better running game. Better quarterback, that goes with Baltimore, obviously. I don't know if I can see Tannehill winning 2 big road games going against, two
MVP.
top teams in the NFL. So that's a tall task to ask, for a guy that, I'm gonna be honest with you here. I think he's gonna have to pass more than 15 times to win this game. I don't think Derrick Henry, as good as he is, I don't think just riding Derrick Henry in this situation will get them to win. So for that, I'm gonna go with Baltimore in a close game, just because, listen, their quarterback has had a stellar season, probably an MVP season. With the experience that he has from last year, I think that's going to count big time, and I think he's going to get his team into a winning position at the end of this game. So, but again, I think it's anybody's game. I think it's definitely winnable for Tennessee, but again, a tall task.
And another question is, can Mike Vrabel outcoach John
Yeah,
Harbaugh?
Drake's still talking.
Still talking.
Listen, I know you're disappointed.
No. Let me tell you why they're going to win this game.
Outcoach the
Let me tell you
potential coach of the
Let me
year.
tell you
That's
why
another
they're
thing,
going
too.
to win this game.
Who's
Because
going to win this
the
game?
Tennessee Titans.
Oh, he's going to Tennessee Titans.
And let me tell you.
We knew he was going to go with Titans.
Let me tell you why. And let me tell you why.
Remember the Titans.
Let me tell you why. Listen. Playoffs are all about momentum. They're all about hitting the peak and being sharp at the right time. Tennessee, for the past 4 weeks, have been playing playoff games. Pretty much every single week they've been playing. They played Houston 4 weeks ago to try to win division. They played New Orleans tough 3 weeks ago, another playoff team. They beat Houston again to the playoffs, another playoff team. And then last week they went into Foxborough. So they've been pressured for the past 4 weeks to win games. Baltimore hasn't played a tough game in about a month when they played against Baltimore. And when they played against Buffalo, that was only a 7-point game. They've been pretty much off for the past month. I don't think they're going to come out as sharp as everybody thinks they will. I think Tennessee wins a close game, probably 17-14 or 20-14, something like that. But I think Tennessee is going to win this game.
So you think that they shut down
Yes.
possible MVP
Yes.
Lamar Jackson?
Yes. I think they will
Tall
find.
order.
I
And
think.
look,
It's a tall
to
order.
make
And
you feel better-
Tannehill's going to throw for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns.
One thing I will give Pete and his team is that last season, look, and I shitted on Baltimore for this, and I hope I get to do the same thing again this season because I would love it. They choked big time last season. Again, look, I know everybody who's riding Lamar Jackson, coach it like whatever. Like when they benched Flacco and they were like, oh, we got Lamar in or whatever. And when it was time for the playoffs, he choked. I know he was a rookie, but they choked big time. Not just Lamar Jackson, but the coaching stink, everything stink, the defense, everything. Is it going to happen again? Honestly, I could see it happening again. That's why I said, betting purposes, I wouldn't touch this game. This is an iffy game.
Just another quick point before we move on to the next game. Mark Ingram has slowed down his practice this week because he has a little bit of a tight calf and hamstring injury. So that might be another person that might not be 100% this week, and he's a big part of the running game.
Definitely.
So moving on to the Sunday games, 2 really good games coming on.
Woo.
I'm going to start out with the KC game, KC versus Houston. KC's a big favorite. KC is a team that I actually picked to win the Super Bowl, so obviously I'm picking KC to win the game. Dre, what do you think? Who do you think is going to win this one?
Kansas City. Listen, Kansas City's gonna roll in this game. Like I said, Houston got lucky in that Buffalo Bills game. Again, credit for them for finding ways to win. But this is gonna be a high-scoring shootout. We know Kansas City's gonna put up points, and Houston's defense isn't that impressive. Again, they allowed Buffalo's offense that's not that impressive to put 16-0 on them in the first half. But imagine what Kansas City is going to do at Arrowhead. I just think Kansas City. Look, I think Patty Mahomes is going to have a good playoff run too. And honestly, I just can't see Houston going into Arrowhead. And they haven't shown me enough. I think Kansas City is going to blow them out. High-scoring game. This might be a fun game to watch if you want to see some high-scoring, guys.
Andy Reid's one of the best coaches in the league coming out of a bye. I think he's only lost like 3 in his career. When he had some week to study up his opponent, he's almost unbeatable. I think that counts towards his week. What do you think, Dave?
Listen, I like to start where you left off. Andy Reid. Listen, great coach. Listen,
Bill O'Brien, isn't it?
This is this is his time. I mean, how many opportunities has he had? Yeah. I mean, this is his time. Yeah. I agree with Pete too. I think the Chiefs go all the way and win the Super Bowl. With that said, listen, doesn't matter who you put in running back. Andy Reid finds a way to make this, the running back and that running game go. All the weapons, that KC has. Patty Mahomes, again, a little concerning, obviously, with his health. But, at least this time you would think that it's given him time to heal.
Yeah, he's fine.
I definitely think they're going to roll in this one. Very close game. Listen, a lot of people. No. I mean, a lot of people could. No. I said they'll roll.
Oh, okay.
I think they're going to roll, but with Houston, that was a close game. This could very well be the Bills, or I don't even know how it would work. What I'm saying with the bracket, but some people can say, okay, so some people can say, the Texans don't even belong in this game. So with that said, I don't think the Texans have enough firepower. Their defense is definitely and their defense is definitely not going to stop. KC's offense. No. Can they keep up? So the only other question is, can their offense keep up with KC's offense? Definitely not. Like I said, KC rolls in this one, definitely.
And moving on to the last game, Sunday evening, 6:30. Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. That's always a scary proposition. Russell Wilson's going to have to go in there and the Seattle Seahawks to face that. What do you think's happening in that game, Dave?
This is a tough game. Like, I think, part of me.
It's technically the closest game of the week, according to
everybody. And
according to the spreads too.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm gonna go with Seattle.
Wow.
Only because listen.
Oh,
they had, again, look. They had to, and I know you guys are kind of against when I say this, but they had to travel on the other side of the country.
Big Ten football?
On the other side of the country. You know what I'm saying? I thought,
I agree with that.
Yeah, they didn't play that good against Philly, but listen, they got it done. They needed to go on the road. They went across the damn country, and they got it done. I think they're going to go on Lambeau Field, and I think they're just going to get it done. They got Beast Mode back. Listen, DJ Metcalf is doing his thing.
Beast Mode has 40 yards in 2 games.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not totally convinced. With Aaron Rodgers, obviously, that offense hasn't looked great. Sometimes, at times this year, they've been ratting Aaron Jones. But listen, I definitely think it's a close game. I think Seattle wins this one, a close game at Lambeau Field. And I'm just going my gut here. So it's definitely a tough game to.
Hey, listen, maybe that's why that's the closest spread of the week. Maybe Dave's onto something.
Enough, Dave.
I'm gonna go Green Bay.
Hey, listen, you better be tallying up these picks.
Green Bay's gonna
when we go back next week. We're gonna see who's what.
Asking Seattle to go across the country, to go back, to go to Wisconsin and take on the GOAT and Aaron Rodgers. Look, that offense. Look, as long as you give Aaron Rodgers some weapons, he's gonna get it done. Playoff Aaron Rodgers. Look, I like Green Bay to win. I know their defense is another defense that's been a little bit iffy, but I think that
it's been better this year. It's been better.
It's
better this year.
Yeah, but I think they come up big, especially in the playoffs, and I think they're gonna find ways to win. Look, Seattle, like I said earlier, they just been in too many unnecessary close games that they shouldn't have shouldn't be in. I think Russell Wilson could probably make up some, he'll probably have some good plays in this game, some big moments, but I just think that won't be enough to overcome Green Bay. I'm going Green Bay.
I'm also going to go with Green Bay, go with Aaron Rodgers. I think that he's saving himself for the best time of the year.
That's right, Dave.
It's the playoff time. I think he throws for 3 touchdowns this weekend, and I think they actually will beat them by double digits. So I think that, yeah, exactly. It's all the people that have been worried about them. I think he's going to tell them to relax.
Game has 35-21 written all over it.
So yeah. So with that said, we move on to the national championship Monday night. LSU Clemson. It's a game that we all thought was going to be in when it all started, and now we have it. We're finally here.
Wow.
In my opinion, the 2 best quarterbacks in college football are facing off against each other. And Dave, what do you think? Your final pick for this now? Who's going to win that game and how?
LSU, baby.
LSU.
LSU, and I think it's going to be a close one too. So, listen, I like
Field goal game.
I like
or touchdown game.
I think it's going to be a touchdown.
Oh.
I think Burrows pulls it out.
Oh, he's winding up.
Tigers versus Tigers.
He's winding
So,
I feel like I know Kevin the Cat commercial.
listen, I know you guys are high on Clemson because they haven't lost in so many years. Or whatever. But listen, I'm going with LSU again. What have you guys said all year? What does LSU need to do to deserve their respect? What do they need to do to get respect from you guys? All right, I guess win the national championship. Win the national
against
championship, and I
Sunshine?
think that's what they do Monday night over
Go with
Sunshine.
Sunshine?
I'll take Burrows, baby.
Dre, what do you got?
I got Trevor Lawrence in this one, and the Clemson Tigers in this one. Look, I think it's like to piggyback off of what Dave said, it's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be a close game.
So,
Well, I just think that they have enough experience in the big stage. Obviously, what is it, their 3rd consecutive one?
For the last 5, man.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying LSU doesn't have a shot, but I do like Clemson to win this one. It's going to be a very high-scoring game. It's going to be a close game either way, and I personally see this game possibly even going into overtime. Again, to me, it's just hard to pick against Clemson. I know LSU. Look, they arguably have been the higher team lately, and they possibly look better. But again, my gut feeling is just saying Clemson on this big stage. It's not unfamiliar for them.
So Clemson's going to keep up with that
Yeah.
that 100 per game. No, I'm just kidding. 100-point games. No, I'm just kidding.
This is
They're going to have to keep up with that offense, though.
this, in my opinion, has been probably the hardest game to pick straight up that I had to pick this year, just because I can see it going both ways. Both quarterbacks are top-notch quarterbacks, and I even refuse to make my pick on our Pete's Corner because I just make it better purposes because it's so tough game to pick. With me having to pick right now, I'm going to say that I have to go with the team that has not lost in 2 years.
I was about to say, it's predictable.
Has
You
not,
didn't go
has
with
not
Clemson.
lost in 2 years, but I do think it will go into overtime. I'm going to predict that it will be an overtime game. The overtime is going to go like 4 overtimes.
That would be
Because
crazy.
both teams can put up points, and
Yeah,
both teams will get in the end zone.
and you're starting at 25. I don't think either defense is going to stop them from the 25. So I think it's going to be a very long overtime game where I'm going to have to go with Clemson and Trevor Lawrence, who I think is the best quarterback in college football. Unfortunately, he can't come out this year, but I just can't pick against them. I understand that you said, what does LSU have to get some respect?
Yeah, man.
So what does Clemson have to do to get respect?
Good
They
point, good
won
point.
the championship last
you,
year.
Dave.
They've
true.
won for 2 straight years, and they still weren't even 1 or 2 seed
that's
after
right.
going undefeated this year. So they should be the ones complaining about not getting any respect. So with that said, I'm going to go with Clemson to win national championship. And we will all be back to talk about who we're right and who we're wrong next week.
Right.
2 dudes and a Mexican. Go and enjoy the games. Happy New Year.
Our producer's going to tally up. He's going to say, who did what next week, right?
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
better.
Somebody's going to be eating
And-
some crow next week.
And if Dre says something else about Baltimore, I'm hitting him with the belt. Peace out, guys.
Let's go
Later,
take
mi
a seat,
gente.
guys.
We love you.
Time's up.